Okay, shalom, shalom, shalom. Kwam Yasha'Allah. Koholoyim La Yahweh. Bahashim Yahushai. Bahashim Rahahadash. Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well and by the Spirit taught us this beautiful truth. Just want to say the water to all the H.I.M and Akwaf that's out here sincerely keeping the laws, the statutes and commandments of Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai to the best of their ability. This is Yachanan the Waf just coming at you with another quick lesson, praying that it's edifying by the Spirit. I wanted to do a quick little video on, I was watching this earlier. I'm subscribed to The Hill on YouTube. Pretty decent news network. You know, they bring out some okay stuff. Little bias here and there, but you know, overall, I mean, it's the news that we want. But I was checking it out earlier, and this is one that I came across. They had like 3 different videos up for the day so far, but it's only like 9 minutes. You know, they kind of break it down. You know, it's a show, but they break it down in segments, kind of like how Redacted do. You know, a lot of these news networks do this now. But this one they entitled "U.S. Ready for War with China." Hegseth says. Now that's the this guy. What's the position? He's the director of, you know, the military, so to speak. Can't think of the actual title for it right off, so forgive me for that. But TSMC, Apple invests billions in America amid Trump tariffs. But I wanted to touch on that as well because it's showing you all these different companies that's putting in all this money. It's like up to $1 trillion, man. You know, that's they're going off into this AI, and overall, it's coming down to that MOTB. It's a race for that market of Beauty and the Beast. Who's going to be in control of it, so to speak? You can clearly see Trump. He going hardcore as far as you know, with what he's doing. You know, and that's the reason why they want all those rare minerals over there in Ukraine. Of course, you know, Taiwan. They building all these new chip factories, and you know, what do they need all these fucking chips for? Because there's billions of people on the planet, and they're planning to you know, implant these people. But let's, you know, this is for educational purposes only, not getting any monetary value off of it, just using it for an educational video. So we're gonna play a little bit of it, and you know, just grab a couple of scriptures and be out, man.
Things are heating up between the United States and China.
And it seems to be stemming from Trump's tariff threats.
Trump has doubled the amount of tariffs on Chinese goods to 20%.
And Beijing has hit the U.S. with an additional 15% tariffs on a range of farm exports and an extra 10% tariffs on things like soybeans, dairy products, fruits, and vegetables.
The Chinese embassy tweeted this week, if the U.S. truly wants to solve the fentanyl issue, then the right thing to do is to consult with China by treating each other as equals. If war is what the U.S. wants, be it a tariff war, trade war, or any other type of war, we're ready to fight till the end.
Okay, so let me stop it right there too. Hey, they like, we ready to buck. But see that fentanyl, see, Trump is so-called putting these tariffs on them because of the fentanyl. Man, these Americans gonna get high, bro. They gonna find a way to get high. If they can't get the fentanyl, these motherfuckers, man, they'll find a way. They're gonna find a way to get high. It is not Mexico nor the Chinese fault that these Americans are over here. It's your fault because you've given, especially the women, but the people have too much liberty to gad abroad. This is your fucking fault, man. With your liberties, your freedom. This is the only place where you can legally self-destruct, man. Every drug in the world is here. Matter of fact, these other countries, they should be putting tariffs on your asses for influence in their countries, because the most influence comes from right here in Babylon the Great, man. The children are all fucked up. The little girls are all on TV twerking ass all out. They getting high, drunk, all out at all times of night, doing all manner of shit. They not taking care of the kids. They don't want to be wives. The husbands don't want to be husbands. America, man, need to cut it out, bro. Very hypocritical place. I just had to cut it, cut into there. So Salakia for that, man.
Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth's response.
Well, we're prepared. Those who long for peace must prepare for war.
Okay, so Salaki, Defense Secretary, the racist. He's the one with all the tattoos on him and shit. You know what I'm saying? They was grilling in Congress. You know what I'm saying? He got the position, but he shouldn't have it because he's a full-fledged white supremacist, man.
That's why we're rebuilding our military. That's why we're reestablishing deterrence and the warrior ethos, is because we live in a dangerous world with powerful ascendant countries with very different ideologies. If we want to deter war...
See? Before it was just them that was on top. Notice what he just said? He says, hey, he talking about these countries that are raising up. And what there's a scripture. Let me get one real quick. Salakia. Isaiah 14:10. All they shall speak and say unto thee, art thou also become weak as we? Art thou become like unto us? This is what overall these countries are, you know, that's their mindset. Now we have military might. Now we have nuclear missiles. Try some shit now. Everybody popping shit to America. Before, well, nobody popping no shit to America, man. You go back, man, 20, 30 years, man, please. You crazy? They knew not to say nothing to America about nothing, man. But see, Trump, he pulling that shit like they still got them, you know, like they can still play that card. And they don't have the cards. Same thing he was telling Zelensky the other night. You don't have the cards. No, you don't have the cards. It's not what it used to be no more. You got little small countries like North Korea talking shit, like do something. You know? You got, you know, these countries are like, man, fuck y'all now, man. Overall. But anyway, let's go back. Salakia.
Ascendant countries with very different ideologies. If we want to deter war with the Chinese or others, we have to be strong. And that president understands peace comes through strength. He also has a great relationship with that gentleman right there, too, Xi Jinping. So where we can partner, where we can cooperate to recognize that we don't want war with...
Man, cut it out. Hey, because those Chinese people, man, they don't do nothing but give money. That's all they worried about. They don't give a fuck about nothing but give money. That's it, man. Them people not over there just fucking with y'all, man. Because most of the shit that's made, you know, that you can buy here, made in China. About 98% of the shit that's in your house, man, is made in China. Come on, bro.
With China, we don't seek that war. We will.
And see, I'm assuming Trump and them is trying to reverse that. But come on, bro. China owns too much of American debt. And they just make everything, man. It's just a wrap. You damn Americans, you so fucking greedy. You know what I'm saying? Your American countries, they have an American title, but most of they do business over. They got their fucking manufacturing companies and shit over in places like China. Because why? America is too fucking greedy. You got to go through too many stipulations. You got to go through too much red tape. You need a lawyer. You need a licensor. You need a fucking you need too much shit to do business here. In China, it's just simple. I want to do this. How much is it to do this? You get your builders come through, they build shit. You know, this you need licenses, you need permits, you be going through all kinds of shit, man, for 5-10 years just trying to open up a goddamn corner store. Over in China, man, they'll build that shit up, man, within a day, man, and they'll have shit that bitch stocked and do a business by day 3, man. Come on, bro.
The president has sought historic peace and historic opportunities, but my job as the Secretary of Defense is to make sure we're ready. We need the defense spending, the capabilities, the weapons, and the posture in the Indo-Pacific, which is something we're very much focused on.
Now, the president's tariffs have come under scrutiny.
See? That's all they worried about. Because why? Warmongers, man. Esau, he was gifted with that sword, and that's all that he knows how to do. All he knows how to do is yield that sword, man, and that's it. He can't do nothing else. That's all that he's about, man. He's destructive. And overall, matter of fact, let me get this one by the Spirit. He is the sword of the Lord. He's just here to just, you know, keep the place in order, so to speak, as far as if somebody get out of line, so to speak. But now his time, he's pretty much run his course. You know, he's done. It's like using a napkin, man. You wipe your mouth and you're like, all right, that's you up, and throw that shit in the trash. And that's pretty much what the Lord is overall doing with these Edomites, man. What's that? I wanted to get Psalms chapter 17. Let's start at verse 13. It says, arise, O Yahweh, disappoint him, cast him down, deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword. See, these people are the wicked, and they are the sword of the Lord. But guess what? The Lord is about to turn that very sword on them. From men which are thy hand, O Lord, from men of the world, which have their portion in this life, in whose belly thou fillest with thy hid treasure. They are full of children and leave the rest of their substance to their babes, which they're not like that no more because they're fallen. They're not having children like that. But of course, Trump, if he was to pass away, of course, he's going to have an inheritance for his son, Elon Musk, people like that. Of course, yeah, these billionaires, they're going to pass that shit on along. But these average Americans, man, they so-called white people, man, they don't have nothing like that, man, to pass along. They pretty much on the level of niggas now. Anyway, though, but this man was gifted with that sword, and he's not going to give it up. He's going to use it all the way to the end, and it's going to be destruction for him, man, from these other countries. And then, of course, Yahweh Shai is going to come, which the world ignorantly calls Jesus, and then his kingdom is going to be set up, and we're going to rule over these Edomites and these so-called Chinese people, these fucking Moabites, man. All of them going into captivity. All these heathenist nations, man, that have come up against the children of Israel, man. See, they thinking that, they battling as to who's going to be next, the next world superpower. And it's not going to be a next world superpower. The only next world superpower is going to be the children of Israel. But they can't see that. They couldn't possibly fathom that. They can't even believe something like that. Why? Because we're so low on the totem pole. We don't have no military. We don't have no physical hospitals, our own banking system, our own economic system. We don't have no land where we're rounding up cattle and have fruit trees and nut trees and berry trees and what I'm saying, oil and resources. We don't have none of that shit. We just being taxed in these places where we've been enslaved. That's it. These Americans, how much money they take from Negroes every week off their paycheck to fund their bullshit wars and stuff? They've been doing that for a long time. Man. So now things are starting to break, so they're speeding shit up. Let me get one more. And it's not going to work for them, man. Revelation 12:12. It says, therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea. For the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he had but a short time. And Trump is playing a big part in that. This nigga is the cruel king, man. The people are in mourning right now because this guy is in office, and he's turning up, man. When I say he moving fast as shit, that's why it says, for the devil has come down, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he had but a short time. And see, Trump, he already know, man. Them 4 years that he's supposedly gonna be in there, we're praying that this shit ends this year. But of course, if he's there for these 4 years, he knows that that's a short time for him. He knows that he has no chance of coming back. He's not going to be able to come back, but he's pushing for a third term, even if this was to carry on. I've been noticing that too. He's pushing more towards, he'll put an executive order out where he's all of a sudden the king of America. And then he'll pass that shit on to his son Barron or somebody if it was possible. But, they're fighting real, he's going hard body because it's a wrap for them, man. Let's see what else we can get out of this, because I did want to get to the point of, I want you to see this money that's going to be spent as far as these countries, with what we call the MOTB, that market of beauty and the beast, because that has to happen before World War III happens, man. So all the prophecies are playing out. Scripture says, be not ignorant in any matter, whether great or small. Matter of fact, let me get it. I know I be quoting scriptures, but we can't get it just for the sake of the listeners, so they can go and look them up for themselves. Ecclesiastic is also known as the book of Sirach, 5:15. It says, be not ignorant of anything, in a great matter or small. As watchmen, we're supposed to be watching out. We're not supposed to be ignorant in any of this news, man. All this shit is big to us, man. But let's play a little more.
In the Indo-Pacific, which is something we're very much focused on.
Now, the president's tariffs have come under scrutiny. When he announced tariffs on Mexico, Canada, and China this week, he shook up the markets. Trump did seem to give the auto industry another chance, however, specifically those following the rules of a 2020 U.S., Mexico, and Canada, or USMCA trade agreement. He delayed the tariffs for a month. He had a call Tuesday with automaker CEOs and wants them to expand production in the United States.
But are these tariffs giving Trump the results that he wants? Trump has reiterated that if companies want to avoid tariffs, well, then they should build in the U.S. And apparently some have done just that. Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing announced this week.
There we go, right here. So you got a TSMC investing $100 billion to build factories. SoftBank investing $100 billion to create 100,000 tech AI jobs, right? So that's $200 billion right there. DMAC investing $20 billion for data centers. Apple investing $500 billion in the US. That's damn near $1 trillion, man. All going towards what you think? Microchipping, man. That's the reason why they need those rare minerals, those resources, so they can build all this shit. See? That's the reason why, Trump is talking about taking places like Greenland. And really, I don't know what this clown thinking, talking about turning Canada into a 51st state. Well, Canada, man, America gets a lot of rare minerals and things of that nature from them as well. So these tariffs is going to cut into it, but this is a lot of money, man. And these companies are talking about building right here in America, you know what I'm saying, to get around the bullshit. But it's really, they pushing really, man, for that MOTB money, man. I mean, MOTB. I was already there. Revelation 13 and 16. And he calls it all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. And that mark is they need the materials for those chips. Those are the marks that they want to put into everybody. You're not going to be able to buy or sell. It's billions of people on the planet, man. It's a lot of, they're going to need a lot of that shit to pull this off. See, I'm talking a lot, man. But hey, see, we need this prophecy to play out before World War III comes. See, there ain't gonna be no super duper full-fledged scrapping amongst these nations until this comes about. But this is a lot of money that's being invested and put into this thing, and plus they got a lot of tech already. Let me see. A lot of these companies already have a lot of this stuff already.
Conductor Manufacturing announced this week they were investing $100 billion into the U.S. to build more factories here. And SoftBank, a Japanese internet services company, announced in December they were investing $100 billion in America to create 100,000 AI and tech jobs. And an Emirati property development company pledged in January a $20 billion investment for data centers in America. Then there's Apple, who sometimes manufactures overseas in places like China, India, and of course Taiwan. They committed a $500 billion investment in the U.S. They plan to invest in silicon engineering and AI, build a factory in Texas, and a manufacturing academy.
Podcaster Ed Krasenstein.
See? And that's just little on the back end, but they need these factories. They need a big ass place to fucking do these chips, man. As a matter of fact, you know what? Let me see something. I'm just gonna put in what chip companies. What's like here? Because there's a lot of this already going on, but people don't really know about it. Okay, so AI overview. It says several countries have been involved in microchipping people, including 3 Square Market, Biotech, and VivoKey Technologies. 3 Square Market, a Wisconsin company that offered free RFID microchip implants to its employees in 2017. Now, I can remember they done that here too, here in Michigan where I'm at. And some of these people, they actually went and took that goddamn chip that worked down, in some of these, you know how these, you got these companies where, real security clearance, so to speak, you know what I'm saying? You badge in, and, they supposedly, because of Michigan came up with a law, like you can't mandate that shit. You can't make them get it. But some people actually chose to get that shit. It says the chips were about the size of a grain of rice and allowed employees to open doors, log into computers, and pay for food. Okay, so we remember this. This was 2017. So this was 10 years ago. So think about where the tech is at now. Biotech is a UK company that has been making implanted contactless chips since 2017. So them again, it's almost 10 years. The chips are aimed at people with disabilities who can use them to automatically open doors. You see that? What's the point of that? Most places you go got automatic doors that slide open anyway. Like your Walmarts, shit like that. Your Targets. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure if somebody see your ass in a wheelchair, they're gonna open the door for you. And generally, if you're out in public trying to do anything anyway, you're gonna have somebody with you that's gonna be helping you handle shit like that. So there's no need to put a damn chip into people for that shit. But this is Esau. He that's why the scripture says to never trust thine enemy. Let's get that real quick. Because he's gonna come and try and make it seem as if, yep, it's gonna make your life all better. And that's when he's gonna, just what a snake does, man. He's gonna slither his way in, and he's gonna try and make it seem as if, Slakia, as if, you know what I'm saying, he just wanna make your life better. He loves you so much. Ecclesiasticus 12:10, never trust thine enemy, for like his iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. You're not supposed to never trust these people. Though he humble himself, yeah, we're gonna for people in wheelchairs and they can open doors by themselves. Well, why don't you be a loving citizen and open a door for a person that you see coming through with a damn wheelchair? That's just that the average shit that a person would do anyway. Though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him. That's the commandment from the Lord right there. Take good heed of this man and beware of his ass, man. And thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped the looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust have not been altogether wiped away. Which means he's going to show you those true colors. Look at what Trump has done. He campaigned on you, making America great again, talking all that shit about, how he loved you so much. Now all of a sudden, he's got tariffs on every goddamn body, and your groceries still high as hell. Gonna go up some more. He talked about day one, the gas, the groceries, all that shit was gonna go down. Remember that? Day one. Here you go. You 2 months in. This guy's done nothing but made your shit go up. But he gave the so-called white people all those promises. And guess what? Those same people that he gave those promises to, they going through it right now. That's why you're never to trust your enemy, man. Let's see what else they had in here. So you have Vivo Key, if I'm pronouncing it right, Technologies developed the first cryptographically secure human implantable NFC transponders in 2018. And of course you got Neuralink, is your boy Elon Musk shit. That's the reason why they want all these chips for real, because what did Trump say? He said, hey, they're going to be #1 in the world with this shit. Neuralink, a company that is developing brain-to-computer interface that could allow people to control digital devices with their thoughts. Other companies that have been involved in microchipping people include Epicenter, a Swedish tech company that has chipped employees and individuals since 2015. So they've already been getting chipped for the past 10 years over there. And they use that shit regularly. They making payments and shit like that. They getting on buses, trains, and paying for shit in the supermarket, gas stations. They ain't even really dealing with no cash like that over there no more. Okay, so this is Disruptive Subdermals tested a COVID-19 vaccine passport in their BioGlass coded NFC microchip. Remember all that? See? That's right here. Companies microchipping employees. That was a story back in 20. Let's see. See? There you go, man. The tech is out here, bro. So stop. They're moving fast with this. This is not something they're gonna just let go. Okay, so this was Mobile, Alabama. Damn. Okay, it says it may soon be a felony for an Alabama employers to require their employees to be microchipped. Believe it or not, it's happening in some companies. They done that here. I remember that. They done that here. Matter of fact, let's see. We'll play some of this. And they came up with a law saying, nope, you can't.
GLP-1s can be a great option for some people.
Just let this play out. Damn, this shit 40 seconds? God damn. Oh, Salakia. There you go.
Soon be a felony for any Alabama employer to require their employees to be microchipped. Yes, you heard that correctly.
And believe it or not, it is happening in some companies. NBC 15's Ashley Knight tells us which ones and why the idea is being met with resistance.
It's an emerging trend, companies microchipping their employees. The idea is very tech forward, allowing employees to act as a human key card to open office doors, log into work computers, even purchase things from the vending machine. It can even serve as security, ensuring such credentials could never be stolen and used for malicious purposes. Three Square Market, a tech company based in Wisconsin and popular for self-checkout devices, chipped 100 of their employees in 2017. Two other tech companies, Epicenter and Biotech, both based in Sweden, have also chipped at least 150 employees and individuals since 2015. A bill that would make it a felony, however, is being introduced by three Alabama state Democrats. The language would prevent both private and public operations from mandating the devices. The lawmakers say the ethical and constitutional implications of technology must be considered. Right now, such bans currently exist in several states, including Indiana and California. Alabama Representative Prince Chestnut says he is unaware of any businesses currently mandating microchips, but he argues it is lawmakers' jobs to be presumptive. In Mobile, Ashley Knight, NBC 15 News.
Okay, there you have it. And that's because it's funny that they say that. Let me read this back again. Revelation 13:16. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. Now it says he causeth. In the NLT it says he required everyone. Well, let's get this word causeth, because I never looked it up. Because, what is it? Let's see.
Strong's G 4160. Poeo. Poeo.
Okay, G 4160. To make, with the names of things made, to produce, construct, form, fashion. Let's move on down, because they got like how many? Yeah, it's probably about 20 damn definitions. Apparently a prolonged form of an obsolete primary, to make or do. Yep, so he causeth. And the way that he's going to cause that to happen is he's going to have to bring something into play where he's going to cause a situation where you're going to overall want to get it, because his food is going to be scarce. Matter of fact, it goes on to say that you're not going to be able to buy or sell. So that's what's going to cause a person to be like, you know what? Well, the children need food. We need gas in the car. We have to survive. We got to live. So he's going to use certain tactics to cause the people to want to go out and voluntarily get it, because they're not going to be able to force it on you. So that's one thing that I wanted to point out, as far as like them coming up with a law like that. It's a felony for an employer to try and push it on you or make you get it. So pretty much overall, that company still has the option to somewhat say, well, this is the only way that you can work here. Just like when they done with COVID, right? When COVID-19 came about, you had to prove that you had the what? You had to prove that you rolled up your sleeve. You had to prove that you had your boosts. You know what I'm saying? Your boost mobiles. It's kind of, and they done a test run with that. Now a person may be able to say, well, I was wrongly fired because, you know what I'm saying? They wanted me to get this thing in me. And that's only 2 or 3 states. You know what I'm saying? All these states are not doing that, but they're in control of the food, man. And they're going to make it so hard to the point where, people they're going to be like, hey, well, shit, you got some relief? I'll take the shit. Fucking my kids got to eat, all that good little stuff like that. But it says, and he caused it for all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, because hey, you got small and great people, they're on the same level. Rich and poor, they're on the same level. It's really just these wealthy, these elite. Those are the ones that's kind of like, maybe will be exempt if anything. But if you a person sitting on 300 million, say like a Michael Jordan, he's supposedly a billionaire, or Kanye West, or Oprah Winfrey. You know what I'm saying? No, they're in this group of both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond. They're not going to be like, well, shit, I got billions of dollars. No, you're going to have to transfer that billions of dollars over into a chip to put into your ass. if you want to keep it. It says to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. Because you may have some people out here that, that may not have no arms. There's plenty of people out here don't have no arms. They put that shit in your damn head. Because it's a certain spot, certain temperature, so to speak, you know what I'm saying, within your body that they have to actually have that chip. It says that no man might buy or sell. You ain't gonna be able to do nothing. Save he had the mark. Save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. So you're not going to be able to buy or sell, man. Right? Matter of fact, let's go into these words on buy and sell. Agorazo is buy, G59. To be in the marketplace, to attend it, to do business there, buy or sell of idle people, to haunt the marketplace, lounge there. So basically, really, you're just not going to be able to be out in public. You're not going to be able to go and have something as simple as an ice cream. You know what I'm saying? You're taking your kids out to a dairy. You know how to have these little ice cream shacks, little spots and shit, You may want to go and just, get a drink from a bar. You're not going to be able to do that. You damn sure not going to get no gas. You're not going to be able to go buy no lottery tickets. A lot of these people going to go and take that shit just to keep up with their Newports, their cigarette habits. People got a Pepsi and a Coca-Cola habit, man. I gotta have it. You know what I'm saying? Some people, they addicted to McDonald's, man. I gotta have my McDonald's. So you're not gonna be able to do anything. You're not gonna be able to purchase no medicine, not a fruit or vegetable from a goddamn fruit stand, right? I don't care what you're trying to do. You're not going to be able to go. People like to go to concerts. People like to go to games. People like to go to the amusement parks. They like to go on vacation. You're not going to be able to fly. You're not going to be able to, of course, like I said, you ain't going to have no damn gas to even roll in no car. You're not going to have no car insurance. You're not going to have no driver's license. All that stuff is going to be implemented right within you. That's why why you think they putting up all these license plate scanners and all these cameras everywhere, and ain't no telling what else, man, they got out here lurking and watching your ass to go along with your phone, because your camera, your phone on your phone is a motherfucker too. Anyway, but let's get this other one. So that was buy. Let's get the one sell. Let's lock here. Polio, 4553, G4553. To barter. See? To sell, sellers, to barter. And generally, when you bartering with somebody, because this used to be an old system anyway. It says to be busy or to trade, to barter as a peddler, to sell whatever is sold. So, generally you could tell somebody, well, hey, shit, I got some corn, you got some pears. I'll trade you off this amount of pears for this amount of corn. There was a bartering system back in the days when people had farms. You might have had some on your farm that the other person may not have had, and you traded off. Oh, let me get 10 apples for, well, you need some sugar, or you need, some wheat, you need, what I'm saying? Like eggs. Like right now, you got to go to the supermarket and get some motherfucking eggs. Back in the days, man, I remember growing up in the South, man, it was nothing to go next door and get some eggs from our neighbor. And that wasn't that long ago like that, you know what I'm saying? But all that stuff is gone. That's the reason, when when he came up with these big box stores, places like Walmart and places like that. See, when they done this COVID-19, that cut into a lot of the mom and pop stores, the smaller supermarkets, your neighborhood, businesses, so to speak. So now everybody is kind of just leaning more towards going towards, Walmart and shit like that. So they're in control of that whole system. So they can easily, like Trump today, if he wanted to, he can sign an executive order where these supermarkets, or places like Walmart, you can't come in unless you have a chip. Because they're flipping everything over to digital currency. That's why they have so many self-checkouts. They don't have a whole lot of cash attendants in those places no more. Man, at best you might see 3 or 4. one person at the customer service. You know what I'm saying? So most of that stuff is self-checkout, you know. So they already got the system set up where people are already into just using digital currency, man. People not really carrying cash like that anymore. So that's pretty much about all I wanted to get on it, man. But this one was that 3 square market. What countries are implanting chips into people, in the humans? Are chips being implanted in humans? Yep. Are they putting microchips in people's hands? So these are questions that people have been asking. Is Sweden implanting chips in humans? Of course they are. Then they got the microchip implant as far as Wikipedia. And the first name you see on this bitch is Elon Musk. See? And this is how they're going to come too. This is that crouching. They're going to go crouching. A human microchip implant is an electronic device implanted subdermally, usually via an injection. Examples include an identifying integrated circuit RFID device encased in a silicate glass, which is implanted in the body of a human being. This type of subdermal implant usually contains a unique ID number. There you have it. That's going to be your social going to be on that bitch. Your social security number going to be on that bitch. That can be linked to information contained in an external database such as identity document, criminal records, medical history, medications, address book, and other potential uses. Well, we already know the other potential uses is just your overall life in general. Straight up, bro. I just see the part where they had, they had this dude. See, this goes back. It said 1998, the first experiments with radio frequency identification, RFID implant, were carried out in 1998 by a British scientist, Kevin Warwick. His implant was used to open doors. That was way back in 1998. So think about that. His implant was used to open doors, switch on lights, and cause verbal output within a building. After 9 days, the implant was removed and has since been held in Science Museum in London. In 2004, you had Nokia, Philips, Semiconductor. Okay, it goes on and on. Look, the tech is there. I didn't even know all this was in Wikipedia. Yep, Neuralink CEO Elon Musk held a broadcast showcasing a pig with a coin-sized computer chip in her brain to demonstrate the company's plans to create a working brain-to-machine interface for humans. This is what they want to do. And you can see somebody right here, weirdos, clearly. Well, this was in 2009. Surgeon implants an RFID chip in the left hand of British scientist Dr. Mark Gassens. And see, these so-called white people, they don't care, man. They have no spirituality about them at all. But here's the history right here, man. You can go through this. There's plenty of history right here. So this thing is moving. So if you can go back that far, and they was doing all that back then, and you see the shit AI is already pulling off, Chat GPT and all this other shit, you better know that they got this stuff already, man, and it's ready to go. Here they go. They got some misinformation, which basically they're gonna turn you against. See, here you go right here. Despite a lack of evidence demonstrating invasive use, or even see they trying to say that if anybody says this, it's misinformation, right? It says despite a lack of evidence demonstrating invasive use or even technical capabilities of microchip implants, they have been the subject of many conspiracy theories. See, they're going to try and make it seem like you stupid as hell. The Southern Poverty Law Center reported in 2010 that on the Christian right, there were concerns that implants could be the mark of the beast. See? And amongst the Patriot movement, there were fears that implants could be used to track people. They're telling you that that's a conspiracy theory. The same year, NPR reported that myth was circulating online that patients who signed up to receive treatment under the Affordable Care Act would be implanted. Well, we know that that wasn't the truth. But they're trying to tell you that, hey, it's conspiracy theory if somebody get to talking to you about the market. Now, why is this in here? See? There's the scripture. And he calls it all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. There you go. The book of Revelation is commonly dated to about AD 95, as suggested by clues in the visions pointing to the reign of Emperor Domitian. Okay, there's a little history there. But anyway, this is what John saw, man. And it's funny that they had this in here. Yep, there you go, man. Hey, you know, they trying to get around some of this information, but let me just get one more or two more real quick. Let's go to chapter 14, Revelation 14:9. And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of God, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation. And he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. So it's not going to be a pretty look if you take this shit. But it's going to take the Lord to keep you from taking this, man. That's why we pray to Yahweh Shah for mercy and endurance. And you need to be calling on the name of Yahweh in the name of his son Yahweh Shai. This is for you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, because this is for you. This Bible, the good news of the gospel, is actually for you, because the Lord is coming to get us out of the hands of our enemies. Because the very first people they're going to want to perpetually enslave like this is going to be you. They already have us enslaved. That's not enough. They're going to come after you first. So just in case there's some mishaps and, you know what I'm saying, or there's some discrepancies and shit goes wrong, yeah, they're going to use your ass as a testing lab rat first. But they definitely want to perpetually enslave us as a people, man. In the NLT, it says, verse 10 again, in the New Living Translation. Let me start from verse 9. Then a third angel followed them, shouting, anyone who worships the beast and his statue, or who accepts his mark on their forehead or in the hand, must drink the wine of God's anger. It has been poured full strength into God's cup of wrath. And they will be tormented with fire and burning sulfur in the presence of the holy angels and the Lamb. So when you know you got something that's poured full mixture, there's no chaser to it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know, for a person that may drink, you know, shit, let's just say, for instance, Hennessy. You know, you got some people that like to put a little Coke in it, or you know, people like to put little juices and whatever the fuck to kind of tone down the drink, you know, to keep it, because it, you know, it can be a harsh hit to your chest when you're drinking it. But the Lord is like, oh, you're gonna take that harsh hit. And also, too, chapter 16 right here, Revelation 16:2. And the first went and poured out his vial upon the earth, and there fell a noisome and grievous sore upon the men which had the mark of the beast, and upon them which worshipped his image. So hey, it's going to be some grievous sores growing on people, man. In the NLT, it says, so the first angel left the temple and poured out his bowl on the earth, and horrible malignant sores broke out on everyone who had the mark of the beast and who worship his image, his statue, Salakia. Let me get this word. Let me see something real quick. Malignant. I don't know what happened. Oh, shit, I don't need the movie. We want the definition. Oh, they say they got a film. Let's put in meaning. Oh, yeah, okay. It's the second one, not the first one. Of a disease, very virulent or infectious. Virulent, infectious, invasive, uncontrollable, dangerous, harmful, pernicious, deadly, fatal, life-threatening, lethal, terminal, incurable. So yeah, man, and people gonna know it. You gonna know who took the that thing when you see some shit growing on their asses. Something that they, you know, that's not gonna be able to be gotten rid of, man. But yeah, hey, we're living in these days and times where this right here is already out here. You can clearly see it. We just proved it. And this, 10 years ago, they was already using this shit. So think how far it has come now, man. And I noticed that they ain't really been, they haven't been really talking about it like that. Like how they was kind of bringing it out. Like that article that we just, with the news story, I think that news story was in 2023. So that was like 2 years ago. Where, I'm talking about the companies trying to force, or it was, it's a felony to force employees to actually get that shit. So we know that the tech is there. What do you think would be on that information? I mean, on that chip? Because you have some companies that's really, Trump and his little cabinet, they might, they might already have that shit. White House secretary, let's just say the reporters that's coming into the White House, anybody that's coming into that White House, they do background checks on. So the very first, that would be something that they would do. Like people that work at the airport. I remember I worked at the airport one time, way back in the days. You know what I'm saying? But they do an extensive background check. So just think now how much easier it would be for them to just put all that shit on a chip. They already got people getting real IDs. There's certain shit that you gotta have. There's certain your passports and shit got certain chips in them. Your IDs got certain chips in them. Just to travel, man. So it's just all a matter of time, man, where they're gonna implement it into the entire world, man. And Esau, he ready to go, man. He can't. He knows that he had but a short time. So just know that this thing is on the horizon, man. So with that, I pray that the lesson was edifying. Kwam Yasha Allah and a Baba Ball.